Welcome to 3CP TV. We are upon our second episode here, and I have a wonderful person with me, May Cheung. And let me tell you, 3CP TV is about learning how to connect with anyone from around the world, literally anyone around the world. And so becoming a third culture person will grow you as a person, and it will help expand your business. So here's what we say with 3CP. At 3CP, you will learn how to do DE&I, diversity, equity, and inclusion everywhere. We change the way you view diversity, equity, and inclusion everywhere. So today in our interview, and May, you are our first interviewee. What a privilege to have you. And so today we're going to explore about three things. We're going to explore and highlight culture, what it means to be an entrepreneur, and adding value to people from around the world. And then again, embracing diversity. So let me introduce you to my friend, May Cheung. May, I met through the International Maxwell Certification Program with the John Maxwell team back in August, I believe. And what drew me to May was her energy. And she is a connector of people around the world. So she's coming from Canada. She is a certified public accountant and a certified financial planner. She is now, she worked in the business world for a number of years. I'm not going to tell you those years because that will tell her age, but she was the team leader of the first IPO of a Chinese company going with the New York Stock Exchange. And so she has tremendous experience. She retired from that to raise a family, and now she started her own business back in 2017. And she is a phenomenal person. She is, she's got beauty and brains. She is a wonderful friend. We've grown. She's helped me out a lot. She doesn't know how much she's helped me, but she's been unofficially coaching me. And so, May, I really appreciate you. And would you just say welcome to our audience?
Hi, everyone. It's such an honor. Thank you so much for your kind word, Yafis. I cannot wait to do this interview and just share what I know. And it's really just part of the journey. And the more you share, the more you learn.
Yeah. So May, would you begin this time together with us in this interview, telling us how have you used your gifts, your talents, your skills to help solve a problem or heal a pain in our world?
Solve a problem. I think it's all start with the mindset. So I just want to give you a little of my background. As you said, my background is actually, I have a technical background, right? I went through my education. I have an undergrad in mathematics, computer science, and I got my accounting degree. And then I was working in an accounting firm and for over 10 years. So my background has been more about solving problems on my own, right? And I remember I was working in Hong Kong. I get all these difficult, challenging problems, brand new problems that nobody solved before. And I have to pretend that I know all the answers in front of the client, and then go back and try to find out the answers. So there was a lot of reliance on my own, getting everything done, acting like I got it all together, and I have the confidence and do it all. That was my past. What I have learned is that that's a very limited way of solving problems. You can only get so far. Of course, your professional background is going to give you leverage to solve certain business issues and problems, but it can only go so far because your knowledge is always limited. What I've learned is through my experience is that now I'm focusing more on building a community, building a big business network. And what I've learned is that it's so rewarding, right? If you think about it, we have different culture. Right now in my business network, I have networked from people from all around the world, countries that I've never been to, wow. Right? I just had a business deal with someone in Nigeria, just out of the blue. And it's, again, it really just, the possibility is endless, right? So to get back to your questions about solving problem, right? Because the more people you know, the more ideas that you can get in solving a business issue. That could be a personal problem, a business problem, and you don't have to do it all on your own, right? It's through collaboration. So I find it extremely rewarding, and it's almost like the solution that comes up is like beyond your imagination, right? So that's what I have learned from my past, right? Even though I have a very strong business background, now I'm like, from being totally in control to letting go of control. And actually, the more you know, you cannot control anything. The only thing you can control is yourself, right? You're in a situation, the only thing you can control is your reaction to the issue, your reaction of your emotions, right? You have no control of what other people are doing or whatever people involved in the problem. And you don't have no control of what other people is going to do, right? You can only control what you put yourself out there. And by having that relationship, you can have influence, right? By focusing on yourself. So it's very different, and it takes a lot of practice. It has been very rewarding.
Yeah. So May, you mentioned about limitations, like we have limited knowledge, and that's true. We have limited capacity. Help our listeners, our viewers, to understand, how do you break through with some of the self-limiting thoughts that we have? Because we place limitations on ourselves. And you and I, we meet weekly and we discuss business, we discuss best practices. You have discovered some ways in which to break through those self-limiting thoughts and beliefs. So help our listeners and viewers understand, what are those key principles that you've learned about that?
Well, I'm glad you brought this up. It's huge, because your perception of the situation is key to solving your problem, right? So your limiting belief or whatever, because of our background, our upbringing, we interpret a situation based on that filter, right? So, and that's going to give us all kinds of limiting thoughts, right? And that cannot, so that we don't break through to possible solutions and things like that. Now, how I approach that is, I have learned is, I think personal growth is number one. Now, how do you achieve personal growth? Is one of the things that I've gained so much is through coaching, right? Coaching is because there are a lot of things that you'd never even thought of, but through a coach, a business coach, they can tap into your subconscious mind. If you know about our mind is so interesting. 10% is our conscious mind, which is we're operating with, right? 90% is our subconscious mind, right? So what it is, things you already know from your experience, but you cannot tap into it because it's subconscious. You're not aware of it. But your coach can help you tap into your knowledge, your knowing, through asking questions. And you can make those unconscious ideas become aware of it and bring it to the consciousness. So again, that's part of it, is about coaching. Another part of it is in the personal growth area, is by attending like seminars, right? When you attend a seminar, you are taking in ideas from different people, like you, Yethus. You're offering these amazing seminar, presenting amazing idea and experiences, and you get to tap into different people's experience, right? You don't even have to go through those experiences. You get to learn from other people's experience, which is amazing, right? So and by doing that, another thing is that one of my favorite coaches, Tony Robbins, right? And he has this amazing seminar called UPW that also help you to face your limitations, right? And calling it a lie and kind of breaking through it. And that's very important, right? Because these limitations, let me give you an example, would be like, you're starting a business, right? And then deep down inside, there's this little voice telling you, it's like, who do you think you are, right? that you can start a business, you can be successful, like you don't have all it takes to do it. Like there's all these voices to kind of
Yeah.
suppress you,
That is
right?
so
It's
true.
like you're
Yeah.
scared. You're
Yeah.
scaring yourself out of the deal, right?
Yep.
Versus like break away from all that noises to think
Hmm.
about all the possibility. Like if you really think about it, is the possibility is abundant,
That's
right?
right.
I
That's
mean,
right.
I believe I can achieve anything I want, which
Yeah.
is exciting. It's
Yeah.
exciting. And when
Yeah.
it's exciting, you have the energy,
Yeah.
right? You have the energy, it's possible. And you attract, and I believe in the law of attraction too. When you have so
Yeah.
much energy, attracting the right people, the people with the right mindset,
Yeah.
then things actually becoming possible.
Right. Right.
The vice on the other side, if you have low energy, you have self-doubts, and you're not connecting out there, you're really just getting stuck with your
Yeah.
own self in a low energy. Of course, you're not going to achieve a thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind
Well,
of like you nailed it. Start with the mental level. You got to get that straightened out first.
yeah. And so, May, your energy drew me at the IMC, and I said, "This is a woman that I want to connect with." And we did connect. Now, in your previous work, your previous career, you were limited primarily to Canada, Hong Kong, and China. You know, you worked in those wonderful countries, wonderful places, but now you're connecting globally. I mean, literally, you're meeting African American. I'm African American. You know, you talk about Nigerian. You talk to me about a guy from Dubai. I mean, you're meeting people from all over the world with your business. Talk to us about embracing diversity. What does that mean to you, and how are you going about doing that?
I think the first thing you need to understand is put other people first,
Hmm.
and by adding value.
Yeah.
When you are building a new relationship with a person, right?
Mhm.
It's very important to put yourself aside, really focus in listening, learning about the other person,
Yeah.
and learning about what are the challenges, and find a way that you can add value. What I found is very interesting. It's like a lot of time you can help in so many ways, right? It could be like the person have some relationship issue. You can share about, I can actually share about my walk in life, my breakthrough in my relationship with the other person. Or if I have some business experience, I can share that, right? By adding value in the person you're building relationship, the person can feel that you're genuine, your heart, right? In trying to help, right? So when you do that first, the natural thing, there's a saying, right? The more you give, the more you receive. It's totally true, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no such a thing. The more you give, you might not get it back right now, but you will sooner or later. Like that person might not be in a position to give back at this point. Might be 10 years later, who knows, right? And so we really just focus on giving, focusing on adding value, right? So that's just one aspect of it. Another aspect is by when you build a relationship, you got to find a common core value first. And then we're all human, right? I can be talking to people in Africa, Europe, China, you name it, right? And I find that we are more common when we are, right? We all going through the same issues, the same business challenges. People are losing their job, having a business, small business is shutting down. With this lockdown, the global issues, way more common than we are. Like build on all the common suffering,
Good.
common pain, common challenge, right?
Yeah.
Then you can identify with each other. But after that, you also need to discover and respect all the differences, right? And I call that diversity, right? I'll give you an example. Religion is one of them, right? Like I'm a Christian, right? I
Yeah.
could be connecting with someone that's a Muslim or a Buddhist, right?
Yeah.
And by respecting the difference, not kind of like, telling the other person is wrong, or even like politics, right? It's by really respecting the difference. You don't have to, you can seek to understand. You don't need to agree, right? By understanding and having some boundaries and respect.
And empathy, right?
Yeah, and empathy. And the thing is, it's really interesting because how do we learn? We actually learn from the differences. What I have learned has been so rewarding. Every single day, I'm connecting with people from different parts of the world. And it's like, it's always beyond my imagination. I keep an open mind. I learn so much. Right? And it's like, whoa. And it makes sense because you only focus on things that you know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get anywhere, right?
That's right.
But you
That's
focus
right.
on differences and you say, there's something that I don't know. You look into it. And then you're faced with an issue. There's different viewpoints on the issues. I always try to look at different viewpoints and then kind of discover the truth from there.
Yeah.
So it's about, it's about learning, it's about keeping an open mind, right?
Wow.
And so to answer your questions about what has the rewards I've been getting, it's amazing, right? One of the example is like I'm running a global business right now. Right now, I believe the business has to be on the internet. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? Like small business is shutting down.
Everything is going virtual,
there's
right?
a lot of everything's going virtual. So I'm all about just staying on the internet, building a global business. The world is closer than together. I'm in Canada, you're in the US, I'm talking to people in Dubai, right? Yep. So basically, we're all connected. Now, the possibility is so rewarding because you can reach out to anybody around the world. So I run many businesses. One of my businesses that I'm helping people with, I have a health and wellness business, right? So someone I connected, I don't know, a few months ago, I barely know in Nigeria, who called me out of sudden saying that her sister in the United States, her son is sick, but long story short, was able to, connect with them on Zoom, understanding her issues and make some recommendations on their health and on the supplements intake, right? Yeah. So it got some business out of it. And hopefully my biggest hope is I'm able to help her son. Again, the referral coming out of a relationship is out of your imagination, right? That's right. Another example is that I just recently started a brand new business. Like again, out of the blue, never thought about this. Like it's not even on my radar a few weeks ago. So this thing literally just popped in, and now I'm building a strong business relationship with this guy in Dubai. And he is just amazing. I have so much to learn from this guy because he actually lives in Bali, and he's traveling around the world.
Bali's
constantly.
My favorite place.
I know.
Indonesia,
and he's German, right? And it's like, and he has like a lot of business network in Hong Kong, Singapore. I'm like just really just taking it in, like really just learning and learning. And the more you learn, the more you respect another person, the more they're willing to share. Right? Yeah. And then I try to add value at the same time. So again, the business is booming beyond my wildest dream. So it's like, it's almost like the more you lose control, the more you just let go of control, the more you get.
Yeah. Hey, May, our time is limited here. Why don't we do this? I want you to close out because we are third culture people, right? And so we love hearing about entrepreneurship, adding value to people, which you gave us, talking about embracing diversity and, and how you're being, inspired to take solutions to the world. But I want you to leave our viewers with maybe one or two, even three highlights of culture. What are three things that you would want people to know about your culture? Now, I only know one Chinese phrase, and that's ni hao, ni hao. Right. But you were talking to me about Jingju? Guanxi. I'm horrible at this. I have a device that has 49 languages, and that's the way I communicate. But Guanxi. So that's one thing. Tell us about that. If that be the one thing that you want to leave with us, that's fine. If there's another, please do so.
So I want to talk about Guanxi. It's very interesting. Guanxi is in Mandarin, it means relationship. It's actually deeper than just the regular relationship. Guanxi is like, it's almost like special connection, right?
Mm.
So I'll give you an example. When I went into China, before China opened its economy back in 92 and 93, right? And I had to audit the local businesses and get it ready to get it listed into the New York Stock Exchange, right? It's really interesting because nothing was in order. Everything was chaotic, right? Like, in an audit, I have to make sure I tie everything to an agreement. If there's a sales agreement or there's a purchase agreement. And it was very interesting because you cannot find it. It doesn't exist. And they say, oh, that's no problem. I'll get it done. So they would create things out of nowhere. They can create agreement with the government official. They just like put a stamp on it, done here. This is your agreement, right? They can make up evidence on the spot, right?
Wow.
It's about the guanxi. Basically, it's a deep trust, right? That we have each other's back. When I say yes, I'll handle it. I'll do it for you.
Wow.
So you can get a lot of things done, right? Like a lot of business deals are done. I don't know. I don't like to use the word like under the table, but basically it is done at a personal level, at a trust level, right?
Yeah, that's a better word. Personal level, trust level.
Exactly.
Quanti, yeah.
Exactly. It's almost like I don't even need it on paper. Like you say it, that is a contract. We talk about verbal contract.
I need quanti. I need it. Yes.
You got a verbal contract, you have my word. That's more than a piece of the paper. I mean, you look at the United States, we have a lot of contract. People still go into lawsuit. They still break the contract.
That's right.
So it's like you have to kind of breach, away from just when you have the real relationship and trust, it's actually more important than paper. That's one thing. Wow. Another thing I want to mention briefly is being flexible and being able to offer solutions, right? Yeah. I don't know if you have this experience about talking to people, they just constantly whining and complaining about not working. It almost just drags you down. You just don't want to hear it, right? Yeah. Like we all have challenges. That's a reality. But how do you just get on and pivot and be vigilant and just move on? What can you do? Try to solve the problem, try to find solution, working together, and then just kind of make it better each day, right? Because complaining about it is not going to get you anywhere, right? Complaining about someone wronged you is not going to get you anything. But the thing is focusing on the lessons learned and solving the issues. And I think this is something unique about the Chinese people. If you get to know about the people, the Asian in general, right? There's a lot of entrepreneurs. They into just get things done fast, okay? If this is not working, they look for another way. This is not working, they're just like getting it done. Things are going so fast. Yeah. Versus you sit on that and pout, right? It's like, it's very different about the culture.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, May. Our very first interviewee, my first interview. So I appreciate you. Thank you all. This is 3CP TV. We are signing off right now. We change the way you view diversity, equity, and inclusion everywhere. Thank you.